Here's my men's bracket for March Madness 2025. My Cyclones will be without Keyshawn Gilbert for the tournament, which makes me want to scream and cry more, but it's nothing we're not used to come tournament time. I think the Cyclones make the Sweet 16 if they're lucky, but if we run into Michigan State, we're toast. The two first-round matchups that look the best to me are BYU VCU and Mizzou Drake. BYU VCU is the classic case of unstoppable force meeting a movable object. My rule of thumb is typically defense beating offense. I have VCU with the upset in this one, and I actually have them making the Sweet 16. Drake, out of my home state of Iowa, has been transcendent these last few years. They've had a 20-win season every single year, and under new head coach Ben McCollum, they've put together a 30-win season at a 30-3 record this year, only allowing 58.4 points per game. I think that style of play outplays the Mizzou offense, and Drake could potentially make a run, but I definitely see them winning in the first round. The West region is absolutely freaking loaded with strong teams and coaches. I think it comes down to St. John's and Texas facing off, and I think Texas wins a nail-biter in that one. I have 3 SEC teams in the Final Four because, as much as I really hate to admit it, the SEC was far and above the most dominant basketball conference in America this year. I have Auburn winning the whole thing. I typically don't pick a lot of massive upsets in my final bracket, but if I have to pick a few double-digit seeds to watch outside of some of the ones I mentioned, I have to mention Colorado State, UC San Diego, and Akron. Colorado State has a 10-game win streak, all by 8 points or more, and they're going against a Memphis team likely without former Cyclone Tyrese Hunter. Traitor! UC San Diego has a 30-win season in their first full year of D1 eligibility and match up well against a Michigan team that comes off of a poor shooting day in their Big Ten championship win. UC San Diego only allows 61.6 points per game. In my book, defense almost always trounces offense. I like Akron's offensive look of over 85 points per game against a very inconsistent Arizona team. I didn't watch a lot of women's hoops across the board this year, but I think Iowa State got absolutely shafted being put in the first 4. Are you kidding me? The matchup against Princeton in the first 4 looks very promising, as their leading scorer only played 4 or 5 games this year, has been out since before Thanksgiving, and the only statistical edges that Princeton has over Iowa State are steals, blocks, and free throw percentage, which are marginal. If Iowa State plays Michigan in the first round, the team stats are pretty even, but if you look at star players on both teams, Audie Crooks and Addie Brown clear Michigan's roster. If Iowa State does make it that far, though, they'll probably face Notre Dame, and that probably won't go well.